Okay, so here we are, Captain's Log, day 90. And that is a really pivotal place. So that's our mid-year. In Virginia, we do 180 days of school. We are not required to do 180 days of school in homeschool, but it has been nice for me to keep up with how many days. So when I'm feeling stressed that I haven't done enough school, then I can remind myself that we've done 90 days of school. So that's a huge landmark to hit. And there's a lot of drama in homeschool in Virginia right now. It's January, and there were a couple of bills that went out that were going to sort of change some of the homeschooling in Virginia, and that's been kind of dramatic. And still working full time. And then I always like to revisit the why. Our why to coming home. It's our first year. My daughter is 10, fourth grade, is more social, behavioral, and not so much academic. So I try to remind myself of that. So I don't get bummed out. So I'm going to do a full review of everything I've done so far. And some of this stuff I was going to get rid of, but now that I'm looking through it, I think I'm going to hang on to some of it. So I want to start with math, because that's what everybody always asks about. So I spent a lot of time researching math. I went to homeschool convention and I sat down in the Rainbow Resource tent and I looked at every single math curriculum they had. So initially I had heard lots of good things about Math Mammoth. It was straightforward, it spoke to the student, it wasn't a lot of extras, didn't have a lot of manipulatives. So I got that, and that was not a good fit for us. Too many things on the page. So then I got Math UC, and I got Math UC addition, subtraction year, and Math UC multiplication. And we did start with that, but what happened was a lot of things that she knew already, so it's very hard to get her to repeat things, and then they're clearly holes, so that didn't fit right initially. So I ended up getting rid of that curriculum, though I like that a lot. So those are gone already. And then I settled on Singapore math. And so that's kind of where we went to next. And so we did Singapore math A, a lot of the, we did like a quarter of it. So we didn't get through much because we kind of realized we got to multiplication and then we kind of hit a wall. So then I was like, well, this is really colorful, but there's just a lot of stuff, and this is not a way that naturally teaches. So then I said, maybe we should pivot and do multiplication. And so then I went back to Math UC and got their AIM program. I also went to Teachers Pay Teachers and just picked up. So back to this manipulative piece, and I picked up some of these to try to do multiplication. And I don't think the goal is for her to memorize multiplication, but I think she does need to understand, like she just needs to practice it, even though she can and use an aid. So then over here is these humble math work. So essentially, we're rotating around. So we're practicing double-digit addition and subtraction, multi-digit addition and subtraction. This one we worked through a lot of initially with money and fractions and time, and so we have some time out of this. And then a lot of what we're doing right now are these timed multiplication. So this is just single-digit multiplication, and we're just working through. She doesn't have these memorized. She can use all kinds of tools. She has multiplication charts. She can use, I have these circular things that have them. So she doesn't have to memorize them, but she has to work through them, and she's done a really good job. So I'm going to keep working on single-digit multiplication for another couple of weeks, and then I'm trying to decide whether to do multiple-digit multiplication or go into single-digit division, because you really do need to understand multiplication and division together. And so my plan is for the rest of the school year to really hone in on the math facts, and then either do multiplication and then go back to math UC division and do division next year, or go back to Singapore math. I don't think that's what I'm going to do. So that's a product that until I haven't officially decided that I'm going to have to move that out. So right now where we are is lots of worksheets, just doing math facts. And we'll see what happens. All right, so language arts. My stack here. Okay, language arts. So we started out with Michael Clay Thompson. Big fan of Michael Clay Thompson, and we also started out 100 days of word study. And we really liked this. We got through to week 16 or 17 in this. So we almost did like a half a year of this till we moved to something else. And what we moved to was spelling UC. And I really like this a lot. It's a chunking method of spelling, and it also has her writing, like a dictation, copy work, I think is what Charlotte Mason will call it. So I really do like this. And so I'm really hopeful that we stick with this. I have the second of these, and this will take us into next year's spelling. And then I still am going to keep this to kind of reference back to, because this is almost like vocabulary. So I might come back to this for a break. So in Michael Clay Thompson, we started out, we did all of Grammar Island, and we did almost all of Practice Island. I think we stopped at like sentence 80. And then we have done half of Building Language, so we have another half to go. And then we started Sentence Island, and we kind of got about a third of the way through Sentence Island and kind of hit a wall with this process. So we shifted and tried to do poetry, and then also got about a third of the way through and hit a wall. So, tabling Michael Clay Thompson, we'd have read 2 of the 3 books of the trilogy, so we're staying with it. We should finish this by the end of the year. We still have half a year left. So plenty of time. So I think I'm going to read the 3rd book, and then I'm going to go back in, probably with Building Language, finish that book, then do Sentence Island and Music of the Hemispheres. So we'll get through that. Because we ran out of Grammar Island early, we did move to Fix It Grammar. This is awesome. She loves it. We're already like into like the 5th or 6th week of it. And so that is kind of bridging her until you start a new Michael Clay Thompson, just to keep the grammar facts going. So I do like this. And then I bought this Reading Detective because I do need to transition her into reading more, so I do most of the reading now. She did a couple of these and then just said these are too hard, which I think is sort of an excuse, but I'm keeping them and going to work on them in the summer. So I will plan to pull these back in over the summer because I think it won't feel as overwhelming to her then. So that is language arts. So what we'll keep doing is we'll finish Michael Clay Thompson. We'll probably finish half of Spelling UC. We'll have the other half of the book for next year. And Fix the Grammar, I think we'll get through it before the end of the year. It has like 30 some weeks, but there's only 4-day weeks, so I think we'll get through it. And she likes it. Okay, so that's language arts. So then, science. So we're doing notebooking. So this is her science and social studies notebook. And in this is all things science and social studies that we've done and worked on. So this is, we did Sassafras Science Book 1 and Book 2. Sassafras Science Book 1 is Animals. She loves animals. So we did all the lap booking in this. We've listened to this book. This is Anatomy a couple of times. I'm going to hold on to the lap book because I think what I'm going to try to do next year is a year of anatomy and physiology and health. So we've listened to this, but I'm going to table the body stuff until next year because I think we could spend a whole year on that. In the meantime, I picked up Not Secular, The Good and the Beautiful Mammals, just as a trial run. It is not offensive to me at all, and I super religious. So there's a couple mentions of God, but she can easily skip it. This is beautiful. Beautiful. She loves it. It's a really nice curriculum. And she loves animals, so I think we're going to just keep doing these units as long as she's willing to do them until the end of the year. So science will be animals all year. And then social studies, at the first half of the year, my husband read all the Virginia Mysteries books with her. That's about 11. She's obsessed with them. She reads them over and over and over again. Then we started state studies and national park studies, and that's Waldock Way. And that's all put in the notebook as well. We're about 10 states in, so it's going to just take us time. We're going to go slow and work through 50. It's going to take us probably into next year. Things that we did not finish and we've tabled. So she loved test prep book. We did all of it that we could do except for the math and the reading comprehension, which it doesn't have the stamina to do. So I'm probably going to get rid of this book because I don't think there will be anything else in here that would be useful, and maybe get the next grade book so she can keep working on that vocabulary and stuff that she does really well at. I had this book at the intention of doing health. She just hasn't been interested. I think the questions will come. She's 10 years old, going on 11, so what they do, we'll do that. I wanted to do some all about me and mom writing. We never really got into that. And then I really wanted to learn cursive and to type, and none of my kids want to do any of this, so that just got set aside. And we're not doing a lot of the writing in Michael Clay Thompson because I do think she either needs to be able to write cursive or type, and that will facilitate more of that writing piece. So I'm just concentrating on reading comprehension until we restart Michael Clay Thompson another year. So as of right now, going into the fall, we would probably be doing, I have no idea for math yet. I'm thinking Math UC, but it'll probably change 15 times. I don't think I'm going to jump into the next Michael Clay Thompson because I know the vocabulary really goes up, but I might change my mind about that because I can always do the vocabulary late in the year. So that's still up in the air because I do like it so very much. I think we'll stick with Fix It Grammar. We'll stick with Spelling UC. And we'll read a lot of books. And then science, we'll do some anatomy, so we'll try to pull in health and the anatomy, sassafras science, and some other smaller unit studies for that. And social studies next year, a bit of a wild card. We'll continue our states, and then I think I have decided almost to do Curiosity Chronicles. That was called Curiosity Chronicles, and then put her in the early modern, which is sort of where she would fall if she's in public school in 5th grade. And that way she sees her friends, and it's not like there's nothing similar to what they're doing. So halfway through our first year, I can't believe it. It's amazing. We've never hit a groove, so I don't know if that's ever going to happen. But at least we're getting through stuff. It would be nice. I mean, I think I feel the best about Michael Clay Thompson because I can see that we're going to finish, and the other stuff, it just feels like you never get any further than like a couple of pages, particularly in math. But I'm just going to keep doing it, and so it makes me feel a little better because like this is basically we've done this much math, so we've filled this. No, this is not math. Here's math. Here's math. So we've done this much math and a little bit extra. So we filled up this folder. We filled this binder up with math. So we've been doing math. It just doesn't feel like we're getting very far or into anything new. I'm not going to stress. I'm just going to keep doing it. So now to put all this crap away. And it's raining. And I should be doing work. but instead I'm making a YouTube video.